Welcome to the Arter Project. As always, I want to begin with a disclaimer that this video is not encouraging drug use, and psychedelic compounds are Schedule I drugs. The purpose of this channel is to educate, inform, and also highlight the strides being made in psychedelic medicine to potentially help treat mental health conditions. This is one of my absolute favorite books of all time. It's the biography of Steve Jobs, written by Walter Isaacson in 2011, around the time of Steve's death. I'm an entrepreneur, and to me, Steve Jobs is the most impactful and influential person of our lifetime. I mean, iPhone, iPad, iTunes, MacBook, the list goes on and on and on. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, Steve Jobs, brilliant founder and CEO, was once a psychedelic enthusiast in his early years before starting Apple. A self-proclaimed hippie, Steve partook in various LSD experiences that had a tremendous impact on his life. During the late 80s, when Jobs had been excommunicated from Apple and was running things at Pixar, he underwent a top secret security clearance check. And with respect to his drug use, Jobs explained that he used LSD between 1972 and 1974. Jobs is quoted as saying the following: "Throughout that period of time, I used LSD approximately 10 to 15 times. I have no words to explain the effect that LSD had on me, although I can say it was a positive, life-changing experience for me, and I'm glad that I went through these experiences." In the biography by Walter Isaacson, Steve calls his experience with LSD one of the 2 or 3 most important things I have done in my life, which for the founder of perhaps the most successful company of all time is a pretty big deal. Steve has made numerous other comments on his experiences with LSD. He once said that if Microsoft founder Bill Gates had dropped acid, Microsoft would be a much better company. Now, Microsoft, they do pretty well. However, that wasn't the first time Steve made references to others lacking creativity and, crediting that to them not using LSD. EA Sports founder Trip Hawkins once worked at Apple, and he describes his confrontation with Steve Jobs, in which Steve, kind of said the same thing to him, referencing LSD. Let's take a look.
He comes by and he says, "Hey, Trip, you've never taken LSD, have you?"
No.
And I said, "No."
Straight out.
And he said, "Yeah, I thought so." And then he walks away. So, of course, he and I understood each other well enough that he knew that I knew that what he's basically doing is saying, I just came out of a meeting with somebody and they said that you disagree with me in this way about this thing. And I'm just thinking to myself that if you just dropped acid, you wouldn't be so damn screwed up. Because he really absolutely believed that LSD had been a very positive transformation in how he thought.
Some may make the connection for LSD helping give Steve Jobs the insight and creativity to revolutionize personal computing. I'm not going to outright make that claim. However, there are numerous studies on the effect of LSD upon creativity, including one study recently published earlier this year in 2022 in the Journal of Psychopharmacology that concluded the following: LSD changed creativity across modality and measurement approaches. 3 phenomena of pattern break, disorganization, and meaning seem to fundamentally influence creative cognition and behavior, pointing to a shift of cognitive resources away from the normal and toward the new. Maybe that's why decades later, some people in Silicon Valley are still taking LSD. Author of the 4-Hour Workweek and investor Tim Ferriss told CNN Money that many of the billionaires that he knows use psychedelics. Let's take a look at the clip.
Almost without exception, use hallucinogens on a regular basis.
Tim Ferriss is a Valley insider. He's an entrepreneur, and he wrote the book about optimizing your time. His lifestyle insights have developed a cult-like following.
The creativity comes from drugs.
The people I know who are trying to be very disruptive and look at the problems in the world that exist and ask completely new questions. So they might look at something that's existed for hundreds of years and see something completely different.
Now, once again, I can't make the claim that LSD use created the iPhone. However, the research on LSD's impact on creativity is fascinating. And the idea that arguably the most creative and impactful individual in tech calls LSD one of his most important experiences of his life, that's also pretty, it's pretty interesting. So before I wrap up, I just want to leave you guys with one last quote from Steve's biography on his LSD use. It's a pretty interesting quote. Steve is quoted saying, "You can't remember it when it wears off, but you know it. It reinforced my sense of what was important, creating great things instead of making money, putting things back into the stream of history and of human consciousness as much as I could. I guess as I'm putting out this video, I'm putting this out into the stream of human consciousness. But as always, guys, I'm wrapping up, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Comment below what you guys think about Steve Jobs' use of psychedelic compounds. Nick Arter of the Arter Project signing out. Peace.